Hi everyone, it's Shell from Shell Crochet. Welcome to my mid-September update. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Shell. How are you today? I hope you're all doing well. I am super happy that you've decided to spend a little time with me, and it's the first time I've been on here mid-month with a regular old podcast in a while. Anyway, I do have some finished objects to show you, so let's jump right in. How about we start with a final update on this year's Diamond Granny Square blanket. If you want a better update, please go to the previous video to this where you'll see that it was assembled, and this actually started way back in January. So if you visit the January video, you will see all of the names of all the yarns that were used. And yeah, here she is. Are you ready?
Hey everyone. So she's finally finished, 100% finished, border and all. And as promised, here she is, lying across our king size bed. So 50 squares, 9 inches each. Assembly on the bias for a diamond square granny blanket.
Short and sweet. So I'm calling this my sort of summer leads to fall, my summer meets fall diamond granny square blanket. And I will pop up a picture here while we're talking so you can also look at it. But when I started this year, I decided that I really wanted to use some yarn that I love. I love Caron big cakes, so all of the colored squares are made with Caron big cakes. I had a variety of one-offs, and I chose to do them in solid colors until the solid colors ran out. And there are some other things that were added in here and there that I had one-offs of, very similar yarns. But we don't have to go through all of that all again. Suffice to say that it's done. And it's huge, and it was really hard to get it even displayed on the king size bed, but I'm very happy with it. So we can check that off the list. I'm not a huge long-term whip person, so I'm really glad to have that one done. And last time we also talked about this cotton blanket I was working on using the Modern Granny blanket pattern by Yarnspirations, and here she is, all done. It is just lapgan size. So finished off with a final row of the purple as the border, probably hard to see, and then yeah, here it is. So I'll have some full pictures of this at the end of the video for you, but these colors just went so beautifully together I could not resist. And I like a cotton blanket. My cotton blanket, my king size cotton blanket is on my bed this time of year, and it's awesome because it's so breathable. You can still feel like you're wearing a blanket at night, but it's got all the nice holes in it, and cotton's so breathable. It's great for summer. So another one. It would work out really well for me if by the time I record at the end of September that it's chilly, because I love to be able to put on this stuff for you. And even as I'm recording this at night on September the 16th, it's still really warm in here. So, you know, being able to bundle up in all the cozies and display them isn't really very appealing right now, but I'll show them instead. So I wanted to make a pumpkin in some really funky orangey fall colored yarn I had, and I went to make the pumpkin, and the yarn would not play nice with amigurumi. So it became this instead. So this is the one that I started with. This is Lion Brand Unique yarn. Isn't that beautiful? And it is definitely unique, and it does say right on the label to make sure that you match your dye lots, which no longer would be an issue because this yarn is long discontinued. But you're looking at 2 colorways and a total of 4 skeins of yarn. And 2 of them had the same dye lot and 1 of them did not. The other 2 did not, I should say. But I still think it's going to go really well together. I will take one for the team here and see if you can see it on me. I will actually back you up. I'm going to adjust the camera one sec. So the nature of it being corner to corner, both of the skein here aren't going to show anyway. And it did have some orange in it, so it ties in, but I did alternate them. And again, it's discontinued yarn. It's amazing bulky weight yarn. I don't know why they discontinued it. It's super soft. It's very great to play with when you want a bunch of different colors, but discontinued apparently. I even checked their website. Anyway, Lion Brand Unique Bulky 5 corner to corner scarf. And then I had one skein left, so one moment please. So I just made a little beanie to go with. I had 3 of the orangey toned skeins and then 2 of the other one, and yeah, definitely not putting the hat on. It's too hot, I'm sorry. But yeah, great set, and I'm glad that it has that extra pop of color that is similar but different, because matching is good, but matching-ish is better sometimes. Anyway, I just like how it worked out. It's going to be super warm, and we'll see. Someone who likes fall colors. But can you imagine if this got to become a pumpkin? That would have been awesome. But I had played with a bunch of different hook sizes, and it just was too gappy. The stuffing was going to show. So I didn't want to play as a pumpkin. Didn't want to play. That's okay. Especially it's okay because I've already made 2 pumpkins, and we're still middle of September. So you see the most recent one there, and the other one went off to the bestie ages ago. I used up my last 2 skeins of Lion Brand Unique yarn. It was a slightly different colorway than the other ones that had the brighter blues and teals and purples in it. But yeah, this one worked out nice as a cowl. That is the seam there. Just corner to corner. So soft. Put it on for you, just one sec. So there she is. Super warm. You can fold it down, you can leave it. I'm not gonna mess with it too much because it's really warm. Sweating in here, but yeah, these are super, super cozy. I have some scrap hats. I was playing with some of my Bernat Super Value stripes in 2 different colorways, and I thought they looked nicer if I joined them together. I'll put the colors in the description box or at the bottom of the screen, but this is one of those, you know, tube style hats that you can roll up on the end. Even this one might even go double. So one of them is all the blacks and browns, and it's got a beige in it. I don't know if the beige made the cut on this hat here. The other one is the teals and the blues, but it actually has that army green, and it also has brown in it. So part of the brown came from that. And here's how the other one is looking in the same yarn colors. So these are just for the charity bin, and they're nice and stretchy because of the way that the, you know, back loop, half double back loop stitching is. So a couple of boys can enjoy those and stay cozy in the winter. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break from playing with all the cozies because I'm warm. And I'm gonna show you what I did in between the cozies. I've been playing with some new to me cotton that Crystal gave me, and there it is there. It's easier for me to show it to you on the camera than try to read it. So this is made in China. That's the one thing I can remember, and it is 100% cotton, and it says D-A-R-I-C-E. Darice is the company. And so it was a beautiful colorway. It was kind of very ombre-ish, and this is 2 skeins. Let's do the littles first. Tiny little soap sack that I keep holes in on purpose so that when the soap gets all stuck in there to the cotton like it normally does in the shower, the soap can come right through those holes and you can suds it up. That's what I like doing anyway. A little makeup holder as well, just in the round, free-handed. And the cloths. So we have a corner to corner, and we have another corner to corner. This one I trimmed in the last little bit of some village cotton from Hirschner's in a lime green. Thought those kind of, oh, it won't stop spinning. Those two kind of went nicely together. And then lastly, more of a washcloth and a dishcloth. I mean, you can use them interchangeably, but I tend to think of them when they're more drapey, that they're for washcloths. And this one is just a pattern I like doing with double crochets and cross stitches. And yeah, so 3 cloths, a scrubby, and a little soap sack came out of 2 little 85-gram mini cake skein things of that cotton. So pretty. Thanks for the yarn, Crystal. This is one of my half double crochet dishcloths that's the solid side. This one is the textured side, so I'm going through the 2 loops in the front, not under the 2 loops we normally go through, but the 2 loops that are more sitting in front of the stitch to get that nice ridge there. And I'll put the name of this cotton at the bottom. I have a ton of this. I've talked about it before. I love it. It's a camel type print. And then I started playing with different granny cloths just to see what I could do. So you see I went from the regular granny stitch to solid, and then I put some half doubles and singles around the edge. And I continued with this yarn, which we know is called Garden Party because it was in my blanket. So that one's more of a rectangular shaped one. This one is a square. This one is a star. I love that. And then I was doing some scrap blue. This is corner to corner. I did that corner to corner stitch, the modified version that I've shown before, where you chain up 5 instead of 6, and you do double, double, half double, and then you do chain up 2, double, double, half double for each shell, if you will, or each block, and it gives a little bit more texture. And this one is, I like to call this climb the ladder, so I'll go single, half double, double, half double, single, half double, double. Just practicing all the stitches, give it a little bit of texture. It's a nice open cloth, it'd be good for counters or bathing. And when I had a tiny little bit of that village cotton again from Hirschner's left over from a different cloth, so I edged it. It's got a little bit of a decorative edging there in terms of the color. And then this one, it was similar to the star, but I did 6. So I tried to round it off to make it more flower shaped. And this one got a different variegated blue as the trim. That's a handicrafter yarn. So the plain blue is Peaches and Cream. It's considered off shade blue, came from Spinrite. And then this is a variegated blue from Handicrafter. Yeah, so making a lot of dishcloths. I think you guys know why. And I think you guys know what for. So just in case you haven't heard, Rose is going to be collecting dishcloths for wings in October. So that's any time now, by the time it gets to Illinois. But yeah, please go check out Rose's videos on wings and check her playlist for the things that she's collecting for different times of the year. We're getting through 2021, so no time like the present. I was kind of gravitating to single skeins of yarn and to use up yarn that I knew I couldn't replace, for example. So that was with the whole Line Brand Unique sets I was making. And then these are 2 individual skeins of yarn I got from Crystal for my birthday. This is the Premier Bamboo Chunky Anti-Pilling. So it's acrylic and bamboo. This yarn is extremely soft in the skein. I'm not a huge fan of when they spin the other yarn around the main yarn. The granny square blanket I just did had Bernat, what is that called? Bernat Cozy Style in charcoal. And that yarn, they just basically take a black yarn and add white to the outside. I'm currently working on a sweater for my mom in Premier Anti-Pilling in a charcoal gray that has the same thing. So at certain parts of it, you see like these tufts of white. Don't enjoy seeing the tufts of white. And these yarns had that to a certain extent too. There's certain points where you can see the white more than others. And I'm not loving that. I don't know. I think it's just personal taste, but how it feels, amazing. All of them actually, even the Cozy Style is very soft. The Premier Anti-Pilling is super soft. This is super soft. But I'm not enjoying that idea that it's spun over top and it's just white yarn. I would prefer they just dyed the yarn the color they want it to be. That's just me though. Anyway, I will put these on quickly for you because it's hot. Have I mentioned it's hot? Not that I'm complaining or anything. So a couple of little beanies. Again, not really made to fit me, so a little smaller. This one's way too small for me. Anyway, you get the idea, right? Love both the colors. And I just made these up. There's no pattern here. So, you know, traditional crown, and then I like to get to a point where I add post stitches some of the time and come in and out of posts. So that's what I did on that one. Regular crown. And then I got to a point where I was going to do some of the puff stitches. So I got some of those going around there in the middle. And then back down to finish with the post stitch brim, which I like. So those are both super warm because they're very bulky. I don't know if it's a 5 or 6. It's a 5. So there we go. This one, I had 2 skeins gifted to me last year by the lovely Debbie, the Canadian crocheter, of landscapes. And this is how this one is supposed to look. And everyone's familiar with landscapes, but I had 2 skeins and I decided to make a good old infinity scarf. I haven't made one of these in a long time, and I just thought all the stripes would look really cool, and they did. So I did a foundation foundation half double crochet starting chain, and then I joined it in the spiral right away. I didn't chain up or anything because I didn't want there to be too big of a seam, and so she's just nice like that. I will adjust the camera for you again so you can see the whole thing. 1 second, please. So there it is. And this is roomy enough that it could go around a 3rd time if you wanted to cowl it up if you're really cold or something like that. But again, it's hot, so I'm not gonna play too much. My face is probably redder than at the beginning of the video. Anyway, I'm gonna adjust the camera back now. So I had been playing with some a particular mandala cake. It was a Milan cake, also gifted to me by Crystal, and I was pulling it apart for wind spinners. So I had some certain chunks of color left, and this one was actually in the like very, very pale peach to the salmon family, and so I added it to the very tail end of some red heart ombre in that blue color I had used for the sweater. And back in June, July, I'll pop a picture of the sweater up. And this is the hat that resulted. So they're both kind of fading. So the very, very light at the bottom, all the way to the dark at the top. And both colors just happen to go in that same fashion. And so just to not run out of yarn, I just did a very straightforward spiral beanie. I actually worked this one bottom up, and I did some singles to start, moved to half doubles, then to double, and then I reduced up here to make the crown. So I may add a pom-pom to this at some point, so I have left a long string here in case I decide to add a pom-pom. So I haven't pulled those out for this year yet, so I want to see. I think I have like a slightly pinky one that might look cool on that hat. So it's going to be nice and warm because I got a 4 weight and a 3 weight in it, so pretty much a bulky weight. And then another section of that yarn had some purples and then some sort of like browny taupey colors. And so this is a 2 3 weight, so Mandala. It's 2 parts of Mandala held double with a really big hook, with a 12mm hook. So I just did this cowl here. So unlike the other one, and all I did with this was I alternated double crochets and half double crochets. So like 2 rows of half double, 2 rows of double, that kind of thing. Unlike the other one, this one will be very drapey because it's so thin. And so this one just goes on like that. Not as warm, so you wouldn't want this at 40 below or anything, but it's cute. It's a pop of color, and it's just something different with the interest in it, because it just might look purple, but it's not just purple, it's marled all the way through. And it's different colors, so it's neat. I like playing with color like that. And then the very last thing that I made out of that same yarn was a little beanie for myself, a bit of a slouchy beanie, just with the 3 weight yarn. I used a 6mm hook, and I just was kind of doing like the idea of a freeform mandala for the crown. And then I got to a certain point to start coming down, did some post stitches, brought in the other color, and I will put it on for you. So intentionally lightweight for fall, just to have a a little something if you want it. Yeah, so far this month, I think I was focusing on little things for two reasons. I was tired of having big things, as in the diamond blanket and the lap blanket, but also I knew I had to make the sweater for my mom by the end of the month, so that is on the hook. I am finished the first panel and I am on the back section, so I do my cardigans over the shoulder style. And I like to break in the back and just go up and down with some short rows before I come over I pick up with foundation double crochets and continue. So I'm at that point. I'm at the point where I have to pick up the stitches. So that is going fine. I just started it this week, but it was nice to have a little break between the big things, knowing that I'd have that one to focus on because I do have another sweater I have to make. I realized I was putting a little too much pressure on myself because the other sweater doesn't need to be done till the end of October, so I can focus on that one in October and this one in September. And yeah, we'll see what else. I've saved a couple of things, mainly the cowl update for the end of the month, but you've pretty much seen everything I've made. And we'll see what happens at the end of the month because of that. Hopefully I still have some things to show and share, but I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you're having fun hopping into fall in terms of crochet. So I will just say thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you're all doing well, and we will all get back together at the end of the month. Have a great day, everybody. Happy crochet. Bye.